guys. So the evening that everything clicked for me was an evening just like any other. So I went to the gym one evening and I was tired. I was tired from the day, but I was also tired because of all of those feelings. I was feeling sad, I was feeling hopeless. I had the weight that I had been carrying around for the past 6 months. And I had gone to the gym, honestly, intermittently. I hadn't stuck to a specific routine, which is also something that's uncharacteristic of me. I am the person who usually sticks to a pretty sound gym regimen, and I pride myself on that being the place where I take out my feelings, I give myself time to think, I rejuvenate, I replenish those feel-good endorphins that we get from working out. So I hadn't been doing that. And I convinced myself to go though because I was coming off 5 days of not going to the gym, where I had previously went to the gym for 2 days, and I had felt good about that because you know how it is when you start to go back to the gym and you go, okay, I went 1 day. If I can make it tomorrow, that's gonna be great. We're gonna be 2-day streak. If I can make the next day, it's gonna be a 3-day streak. Well, I'd broken that streak and I was feeling bummed out, which also didn't help my state of mind and my frame of mind. And so I said, you know what, we're gonna go tonight. No matter what, we're gonna go. So I went to the gym and I was doing some leg exercises. I remember I did some single leg presses, but I also went ahead, did some box squats, and I did some machine work where you're just sitting and you do your quad extensions and then your hamstring curls. And I did some single leg presses and some calf raises. And I was thinking after that, you know what, I'm gonna call it a day. At least I came, was the thought that was going through my mind, which again is uncharacteristic of me because I'm not that person that goes, oh, at least you did the bare minimum, Rebecca. You know, at least you showed up. I have always demanded much more of myself. So that probably played into the fact that I wasn't really getting as much out of my gym time as I had been in the past, you know, in past years and in past time frames before all this had happened. So I was sitting there and I thought, you know what? You went ahead and you did all these exercises. I'd only been there for probably about 40 minutes. And I know to some people that's a long time, but again, just put it into context. I'm a person who takes a lot of pride in my physical fitness, not from just an aesthetic point of view, but from a performance point of view. And from a health point of view, you know, I want to keep my body healthy. The way that the body responds to physical fitness and that stimulus has always been fascinating. So I've always liked to push the envelope in a sense, and my out of shape is a lot better than most other people's in shape. So this was really different for me to have that mindset of at least you just showed up, at least you came. So I was sitting there and I remember I was on the machine where you do your leg extensions. It works your quads, but I was doing single leg extensions on that, and I thought to myself, you know what? Don't you remember a time, Rebecca, where you had to fight for your fitness, to fight for your gains? And when I reference that in my mind, I reference the time when I was competing for 3 years. And this was not too long ago, but just something I did for fun, just because, like I said, I like pushing myself, I like challenges. And I thought about that for a moment, and I thought about what it had felt like those 3 years to really push myself in the gym and to fight past being fatigued. And I thought about my current state when I was sitting there and how I was a little bit tired and how my mind was exhausted and I was mentally just drained from the last 6 months and everything felt terrible. And that word stuck in my head. And I thought, you know what? You need to fight for this workout. I don't care, Rebecca, if you're feeling tired and you're thinking to yourself, you know what? You showed up, so why don't you just go home? It's not a big deal. At least you did a few exercises. That's not good enough. Because if you really want to get back on the horse, if you want to take yourself seriously, you need to fight for it. And that resonated in that moment. Not only did it propel me up off of that machine and, you know, lead me into doing a bunch of other exercises and filled me up with an energy where I was fulfilling the exercises with a new profound sense of just purpose, and it gave me energy. That thought, it resonated so much deeper. It resonated because I thought to myself, you know what? If you're gonna fight for this workout, why don't you fight for yourself? Why don't you fight to make your life better? Because it's been pretty bad in your mind. You've been feeling terrible. You haven't been finding joy in the little things like you normally do. You know, your family's concerned about you, your friends are concerned about you, and there's no reason why you can't pull yourself out of this hole. That's what I was telling myself. I said, you know what? If you can fight for your workout, you can fight for yourself, and you can fight to make your life better, to make your mindset better, to make your mindset healthier. Because to a certain degree, I was allowing all of this to happen, and I sat there and I took so much accountability and responsibility for what had happened over the last 6 months. I hadn't been in the gym consistently, which I'm sure contributed to my mindset. I hadn't been feeding myself positive self-talk, like, you're gonna get through this, and you know, let's find a way. Sure, I told myself with very little meaning, very little oomph, if you will, yeah, Rebecca, you're gonna get through it, don't worry. Everything's gonna get better. I'd sort of say it in a tongue-in-cheek kind of way, with a chip on my shoulder. That's how I would say those things to myself when it came to positive self-talk. And I also, you know, I'd been so conflicted with this choice of which direction I was gonna go in life. And in that moment, I just really chose to have faith. I chose to have faith because